The film begins, and we see a little girl named Aber inside a school bus drawing. The boy sitting in the next seat, who is his friend and also teases him, snatches the drawing from his hand, but gets scared after seeing him. Then the teacher calls Aber's dad to school so that he can also see his son's drawing. Seeing this, even dad is quite surprised because in the drawing, a monster is stabbing a human being. Later, the school counselor calls Aber so that she can talk about his emotions and feelings. Aber says that I made this drawing thinking of my friend who had snatched the drawing from me in the bus, because now, although he is my friend, he always keeps teasing me. Hearing this, the counselor replies that it is normal to have such dark feelings, and it is better to express them in the form of drawings rather than actually doing something like this. Then the counselor lets her go. But Aber leaves her strange notebook behind. In the afternoon, Aber's brother named Jack is wandering in the woods. He also had his mobile phone with him. Suddenly, he stumbled and fell down, due to which his phone fell into the pond. Jack somehow gets up and takes out his mobile, but the screen is broken. He decides to go back, but after a few moments, he sees that the mobile is completely repaired. He was quite surprised by what he saw. Then, in the evening, this family was enjoying pizza together. Meanwhile, we come to know that his mother has died. Now Jack teases his sister, Aber, due to which she breaks Jack's plate. This angers Jack and he gets up and leaves. Then, at night, Aber was drawing with great interest in her new notebook. The next morning, when she boards the bus, she remembers that she left the notebook in the room. She calls her dad and says, "Papa, my notebook is left in the room, please bring it." But he says, "Leave it today, son, take it tomorrow." Then Aber agreed, but made him promise not to look at the notebook. Inside the house, Dad takes a look at what Aber drew in his notebook. Just then, his sister, Aber's aunt, arrives and her sudden arrival scares Dad. Then both of them talk about selling the house, but Aunt knows that Aber's dad is not firm on this decision. That is why she tells him that whenever people come to see the house or to buy it, that is buyers, then you should stay outside, and if you come in front of them, then remain silent. That is inside the car. Think about the notebook still in his heart, but he puts it to the side. After some time, he accidentally spills coffee. He quickly starts cleaning and runs inside the house. His sister was quite surprised to see him upset. Dad finds a dryer among his dead wife's belongings there. That means drying things. Dad looks through those things and reaches his wife's ashes and bones, which is kept in a special vessel after a person dies. Then, while he is drying the notebook in the dryer, it accidentally falls down, and this time he sees all his drawing sketches. Aber returns home. He was drawing tentacles on his hands, creating issues at school again. Dad strictly orders him to give all his drawing materials to someone. Aber realizes that Dad has seen all my drawings and sketches, so in anger, she throws away the colors and locks herself in the room. Meanwhile, Jack finds the broken plate in the dustbin and goes towards the forest. Dad then goes into the room to see Aber, where he had drawn strange insects on the wall, who steal his things like mobile phone, coffee mug, and even his body parts. A little while later, Dad is outside with Aber because Music, his sister, is inside with Bayer. That tells Aber that you used to draw very beautiful things earlier. Aber replies, "But you always threw them away anyway." Hearing this, Dad immediately went inside the house and came out with a box containing all the drawings Aber had ever made for his dad. Aber understands this and shows Dad his new scary drawing, which scares him a little, but then he takes out one of his old drawings and pastes it in the notebook, saying that you should keep the good things with the bad things. Aber still makes it a little more creepy and weird by making a big blue monster. He said that I have created many more such monsters and creatures, which are called idols. Meanwhile, Jack returns home and the broken plate he took to the pond in the woods is fixed. Then a strange thought came to his mind that he should take his mother's ashes to the pond. Aber sees him leaving and goes after him with the notebook. Suddenly, she comes from behind and scares Jack and tries to snatch the box. Meanwhile, the notebook fell into the pond. Jack tries to get it out with a stick, but the water makes strange noises. The two run away in panic, and Aber shows Jack that all the drawings in the notebook have been erased. Then they hear a growling sound from the forest. Then Jack tells Aber to please not tell Dad anything about this, and he himself would run away. In the morning, a shopkeeper came to her shop and saw that all the drawing books and colors were scattered here and there. His co-worker was also there, who starts calling the police. But then, something strange comes from behind. Seeing this, the female shopkeeper ran away from there, and when the boy saw it, he also immediately ran away in fear. It was actually a creature that picked up the hoodie laying on the table and wore it itself. Dad started to wake up Jack from his sleep, but he was already awake and a little nervous. That's when Dad discovered that Aber had been sleeping inside the cupboard. Aber says someone kept tapping on the window all night. When Dad checked, there was something yellow stuck on the glass at various places. Dad thinks that the bird must have done something and ignores it. Then Jack tells Aber that I will tell you everything, but you just have to be quiet. Then Dad also hears this. When the bus arrives, Dad stops Jack and says, if something's bothering you, you can always tell me, son. Then Jack tells him about the pond and says that anything that goes into it comes alive. Aber's sketchbook also fell into it. That is why all the things in his drawings, like creatures, monsters, and whatever's happening in them, have come alive. Dad is irritated, but Jack explains the plate thing. Still, Dad doesn't believe him and makes him go in the bus. While Dad is cleaning the windows, he hears some strange noises coming from the woods. He comes inside the house and sees that his coffee mug is missing. Meanwhile, his sister is cleaning the house and sees that he has deliberately removed all the pictures of his wife from the wall. After this, when Dad comes out with the goods, he finds the broken plate completely fine. Inside the bus, Aber keeps asking her brother Jack about the growling sound, and her friend eavesdrops on their conversation. After a while, the bus stops because there's a broken down car parked in the road with blue liquid spilled all over it, and Aber finally notices the flying creatures, colors that make these drawings colorful. Meanwhile, a scary growling sound comes from the side, and then from near the bus, first a blue foot comes out, and then another, and then slowly a long blue monster made by Aber comes out. He makes strange noises, therefore the driver immediately starts driving the bus faster. The creature started chasing them, so the bus collides with the broken vehicle and goes into the nearby fields. All the students were fine, but they were convinced that the driver was dead. And then the monster arrived behind the bus. All the children hide under the seats. Aber tells Jack that the buzz horn woke it up. It needs to be put to sleep again, and music can put it to sleep. Jack tries to get the driver's phone, but the monster just breaks in. He grabs Jack and starts pulling him out, but suddenly he stumbled and fell down and fell asleep because a student who had an iPad had played music. All the children get out of the bus and run away. As Jack started to leave, the music ended and the next song was very slow. So immediately the monster wakes up again and all the children start running away. At the same time, some signals from the school come on Dad's car radio, but the message is not heard clearly. This message was actually about these monsters, so he immediately comes inside the house and starts searching for his phone. They find colors scattered on the floor leading to the cupboard. When he opens the cupboard, he finds his phone and coffee mug. A strange ball attached to the back of the mug. There was also this creature that suddenly jumps on Dad. Music. But Dad barely manages to knock him over and knocks him out with a plate. On the other hand, 4 children come running out of the forest, but Aber suddenly stops because they left her bully friend alone, and Aber had drawn more monsters in her sketches that specifically attacked her friend. In the woods, his friend encounters a strange yellow and green creature. The boy tries to drive him away, but the creature started growing many big horns from its head and started shining, glowing, and also making sounds. Then a big monster comes out from behind and appears in front of him. He opens his big mouth and attacks, but he completely failed in this attack. Aber's friend thought that perhaps this monster was blind, but once again the monster got up and corrected his angle, and his next attack was to be in the right direction. And before he could attack, his friends came and saved him. That glowing creature is still there. He was doing strange things. Jack picks it up and washes it out of the pond, which completely wipes it out.
As soon as this happens, the big monster also starts leaving from there on its own because Amber had created both of them together. If one is not there, then the other is also nothing. Dad and his sister also reached the place where the accident happened. They found out that the driver and the other children were fine, but Jack, Aber, and his friend are missing. Both of them think that maybe he might have gone home, so he also starts towards home. Now the master in hoodie also reaches the pond, where he had all the drawing equipment, and now he himself sits there and starts sketching. On the way, Dad tells his sister about these monsters, i.e. eaters, as told to him by Aber. But his sister obviously had a little bit of a hard time believing. Then suddenly, a cat comes in front of their car in the middle of the road. That's why Dad stopped the car. When he got down and looked, he saw that paint was scattered under the car. Then they also see the cat drawn by Aber sitting on top of their car. Dad's sister thought it was a normal cat, so she would touch it thinking it was her pet. But suddenly, the cat comes back to the form in which it was drawn. She takes out her big colorful wings and throws color on them too. Then she quietly goes and sits aside. Suddenly, she throws the car away with force and then goes into the forest. The kids draw colors and decide to draw a weapon to fight against the monsters. He then draws a strange weapon. On the other hand, when both the brother and sister were returning home, they started arguing on the way. Abel's aunt tells him how you're trying to erase his mother's memories. That's why Aber started drawing these creatures.
Meanwhile, his eyes fall on a very big bird sitting on the viral post. Both of them got very scared, immediately start running towards home. Abel's friend asks her, "Why did you want to kill me? That too so much." Then Aber reminds her of the times she troubled Aber. Meanwhile, Jack has redrawn his weapon and the three of them gather the necessary items to fight the monster. But before leaving, Aber says that she has to go to the washroom and then her friend also went with her because he also has to go. Aber went to the washroom in her room. He had locked the door. His friend knocks on his door again and again. Then Jack tells him to go to another room. As he enters the next room, the entire room is filled with idols, which were spider-like creatures crawling on the walls. So he quietly closes the door. But Jack notices that some idols are stuck to his body. Jack immediately rushes in and smashes him against the wall and floor to finish off the idols. As Aber comes out, an idol comes in from the ceiling. She falls backwards and falls straight into a room full of idols. Everyone's agents immediately come out. Jack picks up a water gun, but Aber's friend had run out. Jack starts hitting as many orders as he can. Aber manages to sneak into the bathroom and reach the tub and turn on the water, washing away the creatures. But there are still many orderlies outside trying to break the door and come inside. Jack thinks about breaking the window and leaving. Then Aber's friend comes back and starts hitting them one by one with the water tap. The three of them come out and finish the idols one by one and sit in a corner and take a breath of relief. Meanwhile, Dad and his sister come inside the house. Red color was spread everywhere, but by then the children have already left for the forest. Suddenly, Aber collapses and starts crying, while Jack repeatedly tells him to get up. Then Aber angrily says that you always keep bothering me. Aber's aunt calls the police and again mentions Aber's mother. She says that Aber is actually right. Instead of hiding his true feelings, he is revealing them in the form of these monster creatures. Then they hear a tap-tap on the window. When he checks, he sees that the butterfly he drew is flapping its wings, and then the butterfly flies away and he decides to chase it. Jack finds many of his home's belongings in the forest that have been painted, all of which were stolen by the Iders. This is the same item that went missing. All this was kept near a sweet and lovely painting, the painting that Aber made as a child. There, Jack finds more drawings of Aber and picks up the sword drawing. Further on, he encounters the hoodie monster who is sitting by the pond still drawing. The monster draws another demon and drops it into the pond. Jack also decides to throw the weapon drawing into the water, but the creature appears, so Jack drops the sketch. The monster in the hoodie grabs the page and tears it up. Meanwhile, Aber's friend shows off his self-made flamethrower that shoots fire. They decide to lure the monster away from the pond, and Aber's friend tries to distract him. He was about to attack the monster when suddenly more monsters with cape sketches come alive, meaning he has to run away from there. He hides inside a tent. When the monster attacks Aber and Jack, Jack fires a flamethrower. But the Iders enter the tent. They cause a commotion and alert the monsters. The big monster pulls the tent away and throws it away. He is about to attack Aber's friend. Then, Dad and his sister reach there and kill that creature, and so Aber's friend's life is saved.
Jack was holding Monster back, while Aber starts to draw something that can protect them, but this time the pen does not work. The monster overpowers Jack and tries to strangle him with his long tongue. Then Aber uses her mind to revive her tentacles and fights the monster for some time. But Monster somehow catches him too. Then Jack revives his sword and kills the monster with a single blow. But the hoodie monster is still alive and attacks them again. And then Aber's friend fires his glowing weapon and blows the monster away. Dad also reached there. They run towards each other, but suddenly a dragon attacks Aber. Then, Aber uses her tentacles to tear the dragon to pieces. She hugs her dad and then all her nice drawings fall into the pond. As soon as she goes inside, she starts moving and becomes alive. Now all the people in town see good things flying in the sky. Jack stands in front of the pond. He decides to drop his mother's ashes into the pond. Dad stops him and says that you have been suffering the pain of losing your mother for so long. The truth is that it is very important to feel and tolerate grief. This makes a person brave. But Jack had broken the box, due to which ashes and bones have fallen into the water. But when nothing happened, Dad hugged him and said, "It's okay, son, don't worry, stay relaxed, I'm here, I'm your father too." And Mother Aber also joins them both. She covers them by spreading her tentacles. Then we see a scene after some time where they were at their home and started their normal life again. The town also gradually becomes normal as if nothing has happened. And with this, the film ends here.